Brought to you in part by Susan Shute at Exclusive Realtors, servicing South Chicagoland, Northwest Suburbs, Kankakee, and Will County. Everybody, welcome back to the shop. I'm glad to say that I finally hit the 1,000 mark for the subscribers, so thanks to everybody out there that's been watching and subscribing and liking and all that stuff. It helps get this channel a little farther. But anyway, for today, we're gonna put a Putco Lightbar on the bottom of the tailgate, and this one is completely plug and play, so there's no issues with like splicing or anything like that. I think you have options to do that if you wanted to, but this one comes with the right wiring harness to plug into the stock taillight plugs. What it comes with is an assortment of, there's different thicknesses here of these are clips for the light bar. They give you 3M double side to put on the back, or you could screw it down, but I'm not doing that. But that is an option. It's a 60-inch thin bar, and it's split here in the center. It's going to blink one complete side on one side, one on the other, and then it will be also a reverse light, which is one of the main reasons I wanted it, because it'll give me some extra light when backing up. All right, so the adhesive strips they give don't seem sticky enough, so I'm not going to use them. Instead, I have these are super strong Velcro strips. I know when I hold the draggy up inside the car with it, and I have to practically use a screwdriver to wedge that stuff off, so once you stick it, it pretty much stays. So I just cut these to size, and this way the Velcro part that is going to go on the opposite side is going to be wider, so it'll actually be more adhesive to hold it. So that's what I'm going to do with it to mount it. So now down here I'll show what I'm going to do with that. All right, so in here there's those two bolts there. It's like for the tailgate to help support it when it's open. And I'm going to go over it. It's just a touch pushed up right there when this goes over it, but not by much. The other thing you could do is maybe get some like Torx headed nuts or bolts and put it over, but it just barely about that much, but it's not going to be noticeable from like behind or anything like that since it's in this area. I'll probably put a piece of adhesive over it just to make it like a soft spot there, but I'm just going to go over the bolts, and yeah, that's what I want to do there. So I decided before I stick that light, because it's probably going to be hard to get off, I am going to get the wiring done first and plug it in and test it before I stick it, so I know it works. So you got these two bolts here, and you take the light out, and then you can unplug it, and there's T connectors. So when you're taking these lights out, there's these little pop pins in there. So if you've never done it, like I have never done before, you kind of got to pull on it a little bit to get these to pop out. So I have one end of this T harness connected, and then now you just plug it so it's in line. This one was plugged into the light directly. Now you're going to use this one and plug it in to the light. And then there's like a locking tab right there. And then you're going to tuck this in and then run it to the other side. And then this is going to be the connection in the middle to go to the light. All right, so I got it temporarily plugged in before I get everything permanently put in place and everything's working. So that's the left, obviously, and now we switch to the right. So I'm good with that. The dimmer light obviously is just the running light, and lock the doors, unlock. So there you go. Thing I wanted to say about this connector, because it's going to be easier to put this on without all those cords hanging off of it. They put these on opposite, so you cannot like flip these and put them on backwards. So you can't, because one's for the right side, one's for the left side. So they reversed it, so there's no way to mess that up. So now the next thing is I'm going to mount this light down here, and I'm just going to pull these stickies off and stick it down there. I kind of got a middle mark made that I'm going to line up with this line so that I can get it straight side to side. And then underneath I'll take care of the wires as far as like zip tying them up. So I am underneath the driver's side tail light. So I have their wires are coming out the stock location, and I put the bunch of wires up on top here, and I zip tied it to this cable here. They're pretty sturdy there. There's another cable on the other side that's connected too. This is the 4-flat connector for the light bar, and this must be for the reverse light. So yeah, because the white one. Then we're at the spare tire. There's that, I guess it's some kind of control box for it. I just zip tied it to this cable here. You could put it anywhere you want. You could screw it down to the frame or something, but I think this is just fine right here. So there's that connector there. It's right next to that. That way it's easily accessible too, because if you ever got to get to the fuse or whatever, which the fuse is right here. And then I just tuck the wires up in the top up there. And then the other wire that runs to the passenger side, I got it zip tied to the bumper sensor cable. And then that just goes up into the other side. And that's it for and it was just plug and play, so there's nothing to it. So they give you way extra wires here. They don't need to be this long, but it's fine. They'll be fine up there. All right, so I'm gonna kill the lights in here, and I'm gonna do the reverse, because you obviously can't do that unless you're see if it stays. Yeah, it stays in reverse when you can get out. Parking brake sets though. So you have the additional light. It's pretty bright back here, so it came out pretty good. Kind of, maybe I'll bring it lower to see, so you can see how bright it is down low. As I come down, it'll I could tell you to the eye it's much brighter than with the camera, so it's hard to tell this way. But yeah, that'll work for sure with the brightness. So what I could tell you about in summary is, like, I think the wiring is a little bit longer than it needs to be, because now you have to tuck extra up top, but it's not a big deal. But it could be shorter, but everybody says you'd rather have it be longer than shorter, but it's way longer. Not a big deal. But this adhesive strips they gave, there's no way I would have left those on or tried that, because they would have just fell off. These Velcro ones I put on there are super strong. Like I said, I have a draggy, and almost broke the draggy trying to take it apart before. So I had to get a screwdriver in to pry the Velcro apart, and the adhesive is super strong. So, yeah, it's best to get a different adhesive strips to stick this on. There's holes in the center of those brackets, and you could drill holes and screw it down, I guess, if you wanted to. Um, like if I have a problem, that's probably what I would do with it. The other thing, those two bolts, it's just barely on it. I put a little one of those strips that actually the other side was stickier on the back of the light itself to give it like a soft spot to rest on it. It's barely touching it. It's not pushing hard, but probably the best thing to do would be, and since these are Velcro, I could use a screwdriver and pry this thing off. The strips might, you might be able to pop it out of the brackets too, but with the tailgate on there, I think that would be really hard to do. But go to the store and get some Torx screws to replace the bolts where they'll be flatter, and then they'll probably actually have a gap. Also, the power tailgate, I originally was going to take it off because I thought it might be easier to put this light on there, but don't even, because if it was a regular tailgate, sure, just take it off. But the automatic lifting one, it looked like it's going to be a pain in the ass. I didn't want to have to redo anything or have some kind of problem with it. If one day I got to fix it, it's under warranty. There's no reason for me to take it off. I will dig into that, but until then, I'm leaving it on, and it was just a little tight getting in there to put that on. But one other thing, I wanted a light bar going across. The Lariat has one up here, and the other, the Platinum. Probably the only thing on this whole truck that I wish they did is I wish they put the one up top, but they didn't. So they don't have one to go up top, so I wanted one on the bottom. But this also, one of the main reasons is for the reverse light, to have a real bright reverse light in addition to the ones that are on here, because now you got a light emitting the whole back of the truck coming back. So that was one of my main reasons for getting this light in the first place. But I'm pretty happy with it. The install wasn't that bad. Let's talk about an hour maybe. And like I said, it was plug and play with the wiring, and everything worked the first time. So there's no issues with that. So pretty soon we will be doing some tow testing with the boat, the big trailer, and some other kind of testing might come out with these BFGs, see how it does off-road. That'll be coming up. But yeah, so far I've pretty much got this the way I want it. So now it's just going to be testing. So again, thanks everybody for subscribing and getting me up there at over the 1,000 mark. And hopefully that will help more to come for future projects. And definitely have some new ideas coming up. So, and they are gas powered. So please hit that like and subscribe button, and we will catch you on the next one.